All right, so we're going to get into some arms trafficking stuff. And before I do, we had a good conversation at breakfast today about, I cannot believe that you don't carry a gun. And I couldn't believe it when you told me when we were talking earlier today about some of the stuff that you've been doing and that you've been involved with and who you're embedding with. Then we get in the studio here and we start recording and tell me you've been kidnapped.
Yeah.
And so that blows my mind that you're not carrying, and to each his own. But before we kind of get into the arms trafficking stuff, I'm really curious, if I wanted to go down to Mexico, how hard would it be for me to illegally acquire some type of a firearm?
It will definitely be easier than to acquire like a legal arm.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, man. Like Mexico is flooded with guns. Like they're all over. It's very easy. It's just you need like to know someone, and you can get one. Many of the cartels now, what they're doing is they are renting, like firearms. You don't even have to buy it. They will take you into a warehouse, and you're a hitman, but you don't own a gun. So you go to that warehouse and say like, hey, how much for this gun? 2 hours or 2 days? And it's like, it's gonna be, I don't know, 2,000 pesos, 4,000 pesos, 12,000 pesos.
You rent it?
You rent it.
You rent the weapon?
Yes, and then you
to
go
do the job.
Take a hit, get back, and deliver back the gun to that same warehouse.
Have you seen these warehouses?
Yes, I've seen those warehouses. They
What's
look
the selection like?
Well, like what do they have?
Yeah.
All kinds of shit. They have a bunch of 9mm, a bunch of shitty revolvers, like these old revolvers.
Mm-hmm.
They have AKs. They have what the Mexican military uses, which is the 223. I don't know what kind of rifle it is, but the bullet is a 223. It's not.
So probably some type of an M4 or AR-15.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. It's like something long.
Mm-hmm.
They have like that kind of stuff. Those guys who rent those kind of guns, it's like old guns, like they're like sort of like manipulated in some way. They're not like new, pristine state guns.
Yeah.
It's like ugly weaponry. And that I guess it's like the second life they give to guns they used in like bigger scales of the cartel,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you go in these warehouses, is it all organized? Is everything on the wall? Or is it, hey, look at the trunk of my car and there's just a whole bunch of...
No, I mean, the warehouse I've been into, there are in Juarez, downtown Juarez. Imagine downtown Juarez. Imagine this city, border city of 1.4 million people living there. Not a beautiful city, kind of a shitty one. Imagine a market in downtown, crowded, a lot of people, like a regular market selling fruits, selling a lot of shit, medicine and a lot of stuff. People screaming, people yelling, cars going into, like small alleys. And in between all that, it's a regular store selling sneakers, counterfeit, like fake Nike sneakers, fake whatever. With a man outside saying like, hey, come get some sneakers, $20 for the pair and whatever. But if you arrive there with the right guy, he'll be like, hey man, he's with me, all right. And then you just go to the back of that store. And there's a warehouse, which is around like about this big. It's not like a huge warehouse, not small. And you have guns all over. The guns like laying there, like just in the wall, like right there, on the floor, on an ugly table. He can't find sometimes the gun he's looking for. He's like, I know I have an AK, like a new AK around here. So he's like
rummaging around.
Mm-hmm. And then he finds like the AK. He's like, oh yeah, here it is. Can't find the charger though. And he's looking for the charger. All duct taped, because it's not properly working or fitting. It's one of those places, and I'm like, wow. And you're like, so you sell these guns? And it's like, nah, we actually rent them. And while I was there in the middle of the day, like 2 p.m., a guy showed in and he's like, hey man, hey, you just need 2 guns, like handguns, whatever you have, but for now, I need it now. And it's like, did you talk to whatever? Yeah, I talked to him, and yeah, all right, it's gonna be this and that. I already paid that guy. Let me give him a call. Hey man, this guy here, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's good. He paid. All right, see you. There you go.
So these are all hitmen coming in and
All
out
hitmen,
of there.
yeah. Low level hitmen. They're not like, there's like also some hitmen that are like very well prepared.